May Jesus Christ be praised. May he always be praised. Can you please stop me after 50 minutes? I hope I'll be able to make it. In paradise, the acoustics must be much better. Benedict XVI in the Holy Mass pro 𝐥'𝐿𝐸GENDO Pontifice commented the daily readings, or at least that's what he stated in some interviews, and so I do the same. As a modesty can mention, today we have the Gospel of the Annunciation, where the angel Gabriel salutes the Virgin Mary with these intense words, "Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee." If we wish, we could also add the words spoken by Saint Elizabeth, "Blessed are you amongst women." It is a solemn salutation. It couldn't have been any different, seeing that the birth of the Son of God from her is being announced. "You will conceive a son, and he shall be called the Son of the Most High." She is the Mother of God. On the greatness of Mary, there is very little to say. In the sense, there is a lot to say. There are those who can dissect until the very end the mystery of the Incarnation. Mother of the Son of God, Mother of God, Queen of the angels. Who can speak about the greatness of Mary? The one who most perfectly resembles Christ. The saints have been those who have captured this greatness, which resides in her great humility. God has looked at the humility of his servant, and so he has performed great things in her. Looking at her, we remain ecstatic. So, here we have Saint Bernard with his Memorare. Remember, almost gracious Virgin Mary. And then Saint Francis, of whom the biographer states, he honored her with many hymns and praises, which the human tongue cannot repeat. And then Saint Louis Maria Grignion de Montfort, who incited us to be her slaves, and tells us that Mary is God's paradise. And further, Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who loves to define himself as crazy for the Immaculate. Also Saint Therese, who said in a very paradoxical way that Mary was less happy than us. Why? They asked her. Because she did not have a Holy Mother to love. Certainly she also had a Holy Mother, but it wasn't the Virgin Mary. The list of saints is an inexhaustible one. All of them loved the Virgin Mary. Paradise should hope that we too, simple mortals, love the Virgin Mary like them, and more than them. For Maximilian Kolbe used to say, God is always great in his gifts. Today we honor the Virgin Mary of the Rosary. Here is a concrete way to love the Holy Mother. Whoever loves never tires of saying, I love you, to the Beloved. And so we, people of the Rosary, that's how Father Minutella defines us a while back, should never tire of telling Mary that we love her. Let's salute her with the words of the angel Gabriel, who was sent by God, and with the words of Saint Elizabeth. Let's honor her through the Holy Rosary, the sweet chain that connects us to God, the holy tower in the universal shipwreck. To you the last kiss of life that slowly dies. The Rosary is a weapon, a very potent weapon. The first good effect it has is that of keeping away Satan, who hates the Rosary as he hates the Holy Virgin. Therefore, the Rosary is a protection. The second good effect is that it obtains graces under usual conditions. That is, if we speak according to the will of God, with faith and obviously without mortal sins on our soul. The Rosary has won many battles and will win this one also, against the false church and against this false pope. Today's Gospel concludes with Mary's yes. Fiat mihi secundum verbum tuum. Mary gives her yes to the will of God, and in this way the unexpected enters into her life. And she pronounces her yes, fiat. Her pilgrimage started in this way, and brought her all the way to Bethlehem in Egypt, back to Nazareth, on Calvary, and to Ephesus. She had a mission and she lived it all to the very end. Now let's talk about us. What will be our mission or vocation in this historical moment? I will try to stammer something, reminding you that I cannot say everything. Obviously, nothing new, as life is made of repetitive things. That is how sermons are, always the same, but we need them. St. Clare never had her fill of sermons. Obviously, sermons are good when they comment on the Word of God, and they do not talk about ecological conversion, as the partisans of the devil are doing now. They are not interested in souls. They just want to save the planet. You are aware of the situation much better than I am when it comes to the Catholic Church, or the former Catholic Church. Let's go to the conclusion. It is our duty and our mission first to recognize that the impostor is a false pope. We have the proof. All we need is to document ourselves. It is not enough to say that he's a bad pope. I've been saying this for years, as he is not a bad pope. He's an excellent pope, for the Church of Satan, that is. We must say and recognize that he is not the pope. Why? Because it's the truth. I will connect you to two fundamental texts, but not the only ones. Peter, Where Are You? Written by a certain Father Alessandro Menutella. I don't know if you know him. We should be gifting this book to all the bishops in the Catholic Church. And Ratzinger Code from Andrea Cionci. We must gift this to all priests in the Catholic Church. Obviously, we must take heed from all the interventions made by Cionci and Father Alessandro on this theme. I give myself permission to invite you to also read this other book, The Dictator Pope, by Marcantonio Colonna. It cannot be found anywhere. I would like the Pauline Sisters and the Vatican Editorial Library to produce a new edition in many languages. Even if the author commits the error of recognizing such a person as Pope, whoever reads the book must ask himself, can a Pope act in this way? Alexander VI was much better. Hooray for Alexander VI. Be aware that it has been written in the year 2017. If the author had written it in our days, he would have produced 3 volumes under the same title, The Dictator Pope. I remind you that there is fear in the Vatican, not to say terror, because of him. And how many have been torpedoed? How many firings worthy of a dictator? But everyone is silent. Because with dictators, the only expectation is death. There is no other path than this. Unless cardinals, who are now silent dogs who cannot bark, mandate him to leave as an abusive impostor, a deceiver, a heretic, a mason, an idolater, and many other titles. We can send the Swiss guards to arrest him with an order for international capture as a deceiver of the Church. In the same way, Father Alessandro suggested a few days ago. I will quote for you the end of the book, The Dictator Pope, which we can share up to a certain point, because the other seems to be a una cum. Okay, let's pray for all the participants in the next conclave. Obviously a valid one. I wonder if there will ever be such a thing again as a valid conclave. First of all, they must be sure that there is no group who will try to influence the elections according to their own agenda, referring to the same DALL mafia. Second, they must know very well who they are electing. Many cardinals gnawed their fingers after they elected a certain someone because they didn't know exactly who he was. They should select a man of clear fame in the Church, and mostly someone well known as a man of God and not as a politician. A man whose priorities are the spiritual riches that he is called to defend. A man who would teach the doctrine in a clear way. We have seen the great clarity with which the dubia were answered. We understand that they are dealing with a heretic. I don't know how Catholics will read those dubia, and must not have those ambiguous agreements decided upon in a back room. A man who is truly an authentic reformer and who will not deal with corrupted individuals with the aim of controlling the Church. The cardinals must do the right thing in conscience and must leave all the rest in the hands of God. Let's also pray that a lot of time will go by until another such a catastrophe will be imposed on the Catholic Church, seeing how rare this trick of nature has been by placing him on the throne of Peter. Oh, Francis, you've decommissioned congregations, removed priests, excommunicated, beheaded the Order of Malta, the Franciscans of the Immaculate. You've ignored the cardinals. Where is your mercy? So stated some manifesto in Roman 2017. As you know, the impostor, the vicar of Satan, as he has been called recently, is not the Pope. The second thing to do is to tell everyone, to proselytize continuously with neighbors and friends, in schools, and where we work with our priests and our bishops. I'm aware of someone from the Little Remnant who is persecuting some bishop. We should do it in the newspapers, on TV, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. In other words, everywhere, and by every single means that we have at our own disposal. At least 1.3 billion Catholics, possibly 8 billion people, must know that there is an impostor, a Mason seated on the throne of Peter. The truth must be yelled out from the rooftops. Truth is unstoppable. It goes forward all the time. Truth will explode, if not today, in 50 years. Truth will set you free, but truth is very costly. The Holy Mother has finished her earthly path under the cross. I mean to say that the certainty of victory, today, remember the victory of Lepanto, is not without suffering and tribulation. Many of you are suffering because of your relatives, because of priests who were your friends, and now we don't know what we'll see in the future. Never have fear. Whoever is not scared of dying for Christ has already won. Look at the martyrs and Saint Athanasius. Father Lissandro has published a new book about him. Saint Athanasius was exiled five times. He was a true martyr for the Catholic faith. Human success? Not a bit. But today, the Holy Mother Church adorns itself with the legacy of this man like a precious jewel. On the other hand, the impostor will end up very badly together with his followers. The wicked will fall in the pit he dug out, and we will enjoy the victory either on this earth or in paradise. Have courage. Let us go forward with Mary. Stat crux dum volvitur urbis. The cross is still while the earth revolves. It is clear that we have not said everything. Our mission is much bigger. And in one sermon we cannot say everything. But in this historical and apocalyptic moment, what is most urgent? That the wholesome Catholic Church confront itself with the magna quaestio, while being able to direct itself to find a successor to Benedict XVI, with the help of God and the Holy Mother. May Jesus Christ be praised. Always be He praised.